The honourable member for Calgary-Fish Creek on the subject of
thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think through my history of being involved in and being elected since 1993, this is the first time that I stood up in regards to the emergency debate.
On the question of urgency.
I have to speak up on this issue because of all the calls that we're receiving.
No, but honourable member, that's fine, but I asked you to speak on the question of urgency. I've already heard from two of your colleagues. Urgency of the reason why we should give up the whole agenda for today.
I was actually getting to that, so if you could give me a few minutes. The problem that we're facing here, Mr. Speaker, is the fact that we're hearing from patients in the system that are calling the Minister's office. The Minister's office is telling them to call the complaint line at Alberta Health Services. Alberta Health Services is telling them to call the ophthalmologist. So none of these patients that are in the system are getting answers whatsoever. The Minister alluded to that he's been answering questions in the House in regards to the questions that we've been asking him. Well, he hasn't really answered the questions because he doesn't really know the answers. And every time he answers a question, my BlackBerry goes crazy with more questions to ask the Minister, which is happening at this particular time. He indicated to the Herald that there's legitimate concerns in regards to what's happening on the on the contracts. So he's wanting to meet with the ophthalmologists on the 24th. He talks about the fully accredited facilities. Well, the one when he talks about the expansion of surgeries that are going to be done in this province hasn't even been built yet, and it's difficult to get the College of Physicians and Surgeons to accredit anything when the facility hasn't even been built yet. You know, Mr. Speaker, I met with somebody that was waiting for transplant surgery. He is called by his ophthalmologist. His transplant surgery has been delayed. You know, I look at Bill 1, the Competitive Act, and they talk about Alberta wants to be the most competitive in this country, yet the same way they're being competitive, they're striking a monopoly around the with two people getting the contracts. What do you tell patients that are waiting for a transplant? This particular individual has decided he's going to try and get his transplant surgery in BC. If he can't get it in BC, then he's going to try and get it at the Mayo Clinic. You get calls in regards to tissue transplants, all the tissues that are actually going to waste at this particular time. Mr. Speaker, there's a whole bunch of unanswered questions. This is an emergency. We've got people waiting for surgery. Yes, they haven't been cancelled, but they've been postponed. And how do you tell somebody that's had their surgery postponed that they've been waiting forever for this, that yes, we're going to do your surgery, yes, we're going to postpone it, but we need to find out when we can give you particular surgery, when, you know, just so many unanswered questions. And Mr. Speaker, this is urgent.